FYI, packets of tight and sharp information brought to you by the resident auditor inquisitor of actuality, as it is. The world is swarming with self-affirming enlightened creatures, typically in flavors of non-dual awareness from Neo-Advaita to Dzogchen. It's all one, you know. It's all a field of non-dual awareness, and therefore we shall take a liberal piss at your attempts at well-rounded exposition of the path of conscious evolution and the realities of life. What's happening in there is obviously not enlightenment at all. It stems from two major sources. First, bypassing escapism. We don't want to deal with life. Therefore, the plurality and its conflicts we set aside. We simply resign ourselves to the apparent bliss bubble of non-duality. None of it matters. All of it does matter when you are present in the full stack of your being, living as an embodied entity in this world, but we'd like to run away from that. Second, you have those who use it to prop their egos into a super identity. You all, how caught up you are in your perceptions of duality, creatures, dwellers of the nether realm. I am, however, on the superior witness plane, creator consciousness, non-duality, looking down upon you, mere mortals. And all of that is but imaginary enlightenment in a silo. Look at the full spectrum of lives of all these enlightened wannabes. The symptoms are evident. They are deeply caught up in their subjective reactivities, in their dualities, but they escape acknowledgement of this raw fact of life by imagining themselves on occasion of being on a high non-dual plane of consciousness, affirming it by putting others down, right? So yes, there is this non-dual oneness of awareness, just as there is the oneness of energy responsible for all momentum, all dynamics of existence. But it does have its castings, refractions in the realm of plurality, and we cannot simply deal with all of it categorically as one thing. This approach, the skillful means and methodologies of exploring the full spectrum of our living experience over a gradient of evolution, is well established in the classical traditions of the world. From the Buddha's well-established strategy of gradual teaching, unfolding insight in proportion to the capacities of his audiences, to the noble eightfold path and the Lam Rim formulation of the Tibetan Buddhists. And on the other side of the dharmic stream, the eightfold path of yoga, from basic inner and outer ethics to balance, to concentration, to union, etc. It's a process, it's a path. Bypass all of these and you leave the realms of your life hanging unhinged. You compromise, reject the full spectrum of your living experience. Non-dual awareness, non-dual energy, unmodulated, unrefined, piped into disconnected circuits. Flick that on, see how that works out for you. Typically it sizzles and burns, or nothing at all happens, right? That's very expected. And that, my friends, is why we engage in this apparently long-winded process of well-rounded cultivation. None of this is separate from the primary facets of your well-rounded living experience. None of this is in way of asserting a fundamental duality. We simply identify and attend to the full spectrum of rays cast from the prism where the pure white light of your undivided consciousness lands. If you don't like it, if you think it's unnecessary, then by all means stop becoming, simply be, expire. Speaking of your lofty non-dualities, if you look upon life in itself, attending to life with eyes of duality, then where exactly are you on the spectrum? You are locked in a silo of illusory and self-aggrandizing enlightenment, and you're being very loud about it. So please, it's all relevant, the refinement of the full spectrum of our lives. If you think it's not, and if you just rather surrender, throw your hands in the air, yield to random scatter, well, knock yourself out, see how that goes. If you find it utterly unbearable to look at the full spectrum of your life, recognizing, acknowledging, owning up how broken you actually are, how fractured and how scattered you are as a well-rounded entity, then by all means climb up to your treetop, close up the lid of your silo and stay there. Don't sabotage life for all of us. For your information, wherever that you may turn your attention, streaming from that pure, undefiled, unbiased field of consciousness, in there the concerns of your life begin to self-organize, self-reconcile and harmonize. Judge the tree by its fruits. That's all there is to it.